All right. We are back in the comments section again. Honestly, I love doing this, so I'm going to keep making these videos, especially during the off season. This time, we are going after and defending Lamar Jackson with the Baltimore Ravens, specifically in the AFC divisional game. Now, before we get started, these comments, this is all meant for fun. This is all meant for just a kind of, an easier way to kind of engage with the comment section. I purposely left the name off of there because this is not meant to single out anyone. This is not to isolate anyone. The guy who left these comments, I've had a lot of back and forths with him. He's left a ton of comments, like over 100 plus comments. So again, and I'm letting him know that I'm making this video because again, this is all for love and fun and just having fun in this. This is not meant to be like a gotcha or single anyone out by any stretch of the imagination. I really support, appreciate the back and forth, even when we disagree and all of that. But we kind of kept going back and forth, and I was like, I'm making a video about this because it's like my mind's racing. Because I made a video defending Lamar Jackson and saying that the Baltimore Ravens are left, that they leave Lamar Jackson on an island too much. And people seem to not really fully understand what I mean by that. And I referenced kind of the play of how it was 1st and goal at the 2. And I was like, you got to pound it with Derrick Henry. Let's go. And he was, this is then what started. Because he said Baltimore had 1st and goal at the 2. They gave it to Henry and he lost yardage. The next play was for Lamar and he lost yardage. It is strange to defend Lamar by saying the team messed up by not taking the ball out of his hands. It's like, all right, not exactly what I'm saying. If you can't find the absurdity in blaming the coaching staff for giving their 2-time MVP a shot with the ball on 2nd down after what you wanted on 1st down failed, then I don't know how to describe it in simpler terms. He says, actually, and then now he writes me. This is not actually our conversation. This is how he was summarizing our conversation. Me, which is him now. Actually, they did give him the ball at the 2. He lost yardage. You, which is me, then they should have done the exact same thing again on 2nd down, ignoring their 2-time MVP. Me. So you think the player the Ravens believe is the best player on earth shouldn't be given a chance on 2 consecutive important plays? You. Exactly. Lamar is amazing and in his prime, but I have less faith in him than our 31-year-old running back. Why would their idiot coaches want to give him a chance? Me. You don't see the irony of talking about how good a player is, but then blaming the team for giving him the ball? You. Nope. Not quite how this all back and forth went, but that's neither here nor there. But this stuff really drives me crazy because that's not at all what I'm saying. And again, having a balanced offense and setting up your quarterback to succeed is not taking the ball out of his hands. And it is the definition of a straw man. It's just wrong. It's just incorrect. And here's the beginning of that drive of when this all went down, because we could see, and I can't really show you the plays because the NFL doesn't really let you show the highlights. But this is where they are. They're at like the 45-yard line. And Lamar throws a beautiful ball. An absolute beautiful ball to get the ball to the 2. So no one's saying take the ball out of his hands. He's doing his job. He is throwing a beautiful ball right here. Let me see if I can get it set up so we can play like a quick of it. Nope, it's already longer than I wanted it to. Look at this. Just, pretty much 50 yards, air yards. Beautiful pass. Beautiful. All right? That's not taking the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands. He got the ball to the 2-yard line with a beautiful pass right there. They now have their monster of a running back. They're at the 2. Their monster, their beast of a running back. And this whole lost yardage, little misleading because he just kind of runs into a wall and he gets, hung up. All right. So lost a yard, lost an inch, whatever. Now it's, 2nd and goal, and the play should still be to feed the beast. But instead, what do? They just want to call hike and put Lamar on this island that I'm talking about, have him drop back and try his best to make a play. It's just let Lamar put on the cape and try his best to either find someone to throw, to either run himself. They just make him try to make a play, which is just bad football, okay? This is just bad football. It's just, let's see what we got. What can we do here? Try to find something. And now you take a bigger loss. That's putting your quarterback on an island. Okay? Compare that to what, and this is why I reference Patrick Mahomes, and I almost said Patrick Mahomes and the Golden State Warriors, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, because they put Patrick Mahomes in positions to succeed, okay? That's what they do. That's what they do. It's not hard to understand. First off, let's just look at this play from the Kansas City Chiefs. They're at the 11, okay? He hands the ball off, and boom. They score a touchdown. Was that taking the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands? Was that taking the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands? They're the multi-time MVP, Super Bowl winner, etc., etc. At this point, he was like, had a clear path to becoming the GOAT. Did it take the ball out of his hands? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And now how about this play? Which again, I can't really show you the whole thing, but this is now where they're at like the 15 or so, and this is now to go up 14. A beautiful play. I made a whole video about this because Greg Cosell kind of completely unpacked, how Andy Reid's schemes in this game completely set up the Kansas City Chiefs for success, for him to have walk-in touchdowns, for him to be able to just play pitch and catch with his receivers to get into the end zone. And that's what this play right here highlights. Okay, what they were able to do with Juju and Xavier Worthy, and how it was just, it was just easy pickings, just easy. Just a nice little call hike, pitch and catch, and let's go. Boom. Walk-in touchdown. There you go. Here the Kansas City Chiefs are. Okay, third and goal, and they're at like the 1.5 essentially. Look at this walk-in touchdown. Okay, a walk-in touchdown for Patrick Mahomes. Boom. Wasn't touched until he was already within the end zone. That's what I'm talking about. Compare that to what happened with Lamar Jackson. And it has nothing to do with Lamar Jackson. This isn't on Lamar Jackson. Okay? This is called hike, nowhere to go, nowhere to be, and it's just try your best to figure something out. And it's against the same defense. The same defense and what should be a significantly more potent, a higher quality offense with the Baltimore Ravens. This is the island that I'm talking about. And just call hike and try your best to figure something out. And now, when you were at like first and goal at like the 2, yeah, now you keep moving backwards. You could have just handed the ball off to Derrick Henry, who was a beast that game still. Was still able to rip himself free. You're not taking the ball out of the hands of Lamar Jackson, of your MVP. But you're making everything more difficult for him. When he's already doing everything he can to kind of, win this game here. I mean, so now in this game, the Kansas City Chiefs are up 21-10. 21-10 because of a handoff that was able to just get into the end zone, an easy run into the end zone, and an easy pitch and catch. Boom, just like that, 21 points. Just like that. I mean, just even look at this play. Now it's 21-22. I mean, look at this. The blocker set up for Mahomes just to go. Any quarterback scores in that. That's not Patrick Mahomes being an amazing elite runner. I score behind that. Literally. Sam Darnold scores behind that. That wasn't magical, but I mean, he had the blocker set up. Great play design, great play call. Boom. Essentially a walk-in touchdown again. It doesn't get much easier than that in the NFL. We're talking about the NFL, and this is the AFC Championship game. With what should be an inferior offense going up against the exact same defense that the Baltimore Ravens faced. Now, again, I'm not acting like Patrick Mahomes didn't need to do awesome things throughout that game. But Lamar Jackson had to do awesome things throughout this game as well. And then when it was time to bring it home in some of these key moments, it was an uphill battle. That's what I'm talking about when I'm blaming coaching. Not to mention, I'm not even going to unpack the game from 23 against the Kansas City Chiefs when they just decided not to run the ball, when they decided to have no balanced offense whatsoever, and again, continue to just put Lamar Jackson on this island where it's called hike and see what you can do. Try your best. Is someone open? Throw to them. If not, hey man, you're really fast, right? You're athletic. You're strong. Come on, buddy. Let's do it. It's the difference. It's the difference between winning and losing. And then here we go on the 3rd and goal now. Pretty much 3rd and long. Flush out of the pocket immediately. And has to just, kind of throw up a little prayer. And boom, there you go. I mean, you see the differences. You see the differences. Here's even the 2-point conversion now. That they end up throwing the ball around the same, around the same spot of the field. I mean, you can even see this. Throws open to a wide open receiver in the end zone. Back of the end zone, just like that. Able to stay within the pocket. I mean, just even something as simple as that. Like, those are the differences. Again, I'm not trying to argue. Like, the point of this video is not to argue that, that Lamar Jackson's better than Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's not the point of this. And I'm not acting like Lamar Jackson had a perfect game in this game. But Patrick Mahomes even fumbled in that conference championship game. Okay, he fumbled. So did Lamar Jackson. All right? Like, it happens. It happens. Again, could Lamar Jackson played a little bit better? Absolutely. Absolutely. That does not excuse the bad coaching. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Not to mention, Lamar Jackson was ready to shine even more in that game. He was winning that game for them. But we all know how it went. Fumbles, drop passes, etc., etc., etc. So I just, some of this back and forth, this idea that I'm even saying here, take the ball out of the MVP, blaming the coach staff for giving their 2-time MVP a shot with the ball. You're not giving him a shot with the ball. You're leaving him on an island, saying, please just be bigger and stronger and faster than everyone else on the field. But the quarterback that everyone wants to say is the GOAT and is the greatest and this and that, they don't even do. Like, that's the argument here. That's the argument. Has Patrick Mahomes played better in bigger games? Absolutely. Patrick Mahomes has stepped up bigger more regularly than Lamar Jackson, undeniably. If there's a big game and you need to choose between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, I am picking Patrick Mahomes. No doubt about it. That does not mean that Andy Reid has done significantly better of a job compared to whoever is the coach of the day for the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson. That does not invalidate that claim. And I'm showing you concrete evidence in key moments in the game that would have then made this 14-14, which changes everything at that point. Changes everything. The difference between the opportunities that Andy Reid sets up for Patrick Mahomes in those moments compared to what the Baltimore Ravens are asking of Lamar Jackson. That is what I'm trying to drive home. And so when I say leave him on the island, etc., etc., I'm not saying take the ball out of his hands. I'm saying support the 2-time MVP. But that's what they keep doing, and quite frankly, the the Buffalo Bills do very similar things with Josh Allen. It's just call hike and try your best, man. You're a freak athlete. You're an elite player, an elite quarterback. Just try your best. Call hike, and you're going to drop back, and you're going to look and scan the field and be like, am I going to run? Am I going to throw? I don't know. Hopefully I can try something. And it doesn't lead to winning football. And I know not every coach can be as good as Andy Reid. I mean, Andy Reid is truly Andy Reid. He puts on a master class in coaching. And that's why it's so disingenuous. And another comment, which I'm not going to unpack, where someone was like, oh, so you're not going to blame Andy Reid for his failures in the Super Bowl? It's like, what are we doing here, man? The Philadelphia Eagles were just a better team. There was no magic play that Andy Reid was going to be able to dial up. And he already had a cakewalk game plan against the Buffalo Bills. He was directly responsible for many of those scoring drives. It was his scheming, which again, I already unpacked in a Greg Cosell, Colin Cowherd clip. And in this game, and also last year in 23, You had Lamar Jackson going up against just weird coaching decisions. That's the reality of the situation. That is the reality of the situation. Lamar Jackson could have played better, but also the coaching could have definitely been better. It's okay to talk about both things. Multiple things can be true at the same time. It's going to be okay. It's okay to believe that Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable and still credit Andy Reid with a lot of that success for the Kansas City Chiefs. There's a reason why they pay him a gajillion dollars. There's a reason why when they ask Patrick Mahomes, how long can this party go? They say as long as Andy Reid's still coaching, because he knows. He knows when his life is made easier through coaching, through game planning, through play calling. And Lamar Jackson's going up against it many times in key moments of games that are brutally important. You can't expect a quarterback to do it all. They can't throw the 50-yard beautiful pass and still find their way to get in the end zone game after game after game, drive after drive after drive. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. Occasionally, can you? Sure. Can you do it all the time? Nope. Nope. Let me say this one more time. Could have Lamar Jackson played better in this game? Absolutely. Did Lamar Jackson put his team in a position to win the game? Absolutely. Did coaching make concrete mistakes that potentially cost the Baltimore Ravens this game? Absolutely. Did we see awesome, better game planning from the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Buffalo Bills? Absolutely. Did Patrick Mahomes have an easier go at it than Lamar Jackson did? Absolutely. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, these clips right here in isolation, I think do a beautiful job of illustrating that, quite frankly, if I do say so myself. And we don't even have to unpack 23. I don't even got the strength for that. I mean, that was the most bizarre game plan ever and indefensible. And you're not taking the ball out of your two-time MVP. That's not what you're doing. You're supporting him. Supporting him. And this whole counter is to just all the people who are pushing back, not just, I'm just using the back and forth in the comments as like a jumping off point. But it's just, you see the differences. You see how a coach and a team can set up and support their quarterback. Support the offense. And so, okay, just because Derrick Henry was stopped, that means you can't hand the ball off again? And if you want to keep the ball in Lamar Jackson's hands, maybe have a little bit smarter of a play dialed up to get him into the end zone? Oh, gee golly, I know. What a shock. What a surprise. I mean, it's just crazy to me. I mean, we're talking about the same game where this is what Derrick Henry did. Essentially like 8 yards out. And you think it's a bad idea to give Derrick Henry the ball again because you have a two-time MVP. I guess it's bad to hand the ball off to like Kareem Hunt for Patrick Mahomes. Like I don't understand. And to say like, oh, the 31-year-old running back, Lamar is amazing and in his prime, but I have less faith in him than our 31-year-old running back. What? You mean the running back who had 1,900 yards, who was averaging 5.9 yards per carry, and had 16 touchdowns? What? Derrick Henry. 5.3 yards per attempt that game. And you only had the ball handed off to him 16 times. I mean, that's indefensible. It is. It's kind of crazy. I mean, would you believe this? This is the Bills versus Ravens box score. First off, Lamar Jackson 18 for 25, 254 yards, 10.2 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, QBR of 85.4 and a 114.4 rating. Lamar Jackson 6 carries for 39 yards. They had 30 total carries for 176 yards. Would you believe that the Chiefs ran more? The Ravens, who the foundation of their team is being able to run the ball, that Kareem Hunt had more carries than Derrick Henry. I mean, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy to me. Patrick Mahomes, 18 for 26, 245 yards, 9.4 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, but a fumble, 87 QBR, 111.9. So what's the difference here, guys? What's the difference? Better situational football, better play calling. Because, yeah, Lamar Jackson had an extra turnover. Definitely. So did his other team. So did his teammates. Patrick Mahomes fumbled the ball, man, in a key moment in that game. The reason why the Ravens lost that game was not because of Lamar Jackson. When they face the same defense and you have Lamar Jackson essentially play an equal or even slightly better of a game, but the game plan sets Patrick Mahomes up to win this game. Because again, Patrick Mahomes fumbled, so did Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson threw the interception, of course. But what was asked of Lamar, when you really kind of look at it, where this isn't a far stretch to act like that, like Lamar Jackson just played an awful game, cost the game, and Patrick Mahomes played a flawless, perfect game. Like that's not the story being told. Because even Patrick Mahomes now had 11 carries for 43 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3.9 yards per attempt. And then you compare that to Lamar Jackson, who had 6 carries for 39 yards, 6.5 yards per attempt, 0 touchdowns. I mean, again, you have them being able to run the ball better. Lamar Jackson's playing better, both with his legs and throwing the ball, technically. Higher passer rating, more yards, etc., 2 passing touchdowns. QBR is a toss-up if we want to kind of play this stat game. But one team was able to more reliably get into the end zone, and the players around him supported him. They did not support. They dropped the ball and fumbled. Patrick Mahomes' team did not. Only Patrick Mahomes technically hurt his team with the turnovers. I mean, that's a difference right there. That even when Patrick Mahomes fumbled the ball, the rest of the team was able to support it and pick it up. Kind of crazy. And that's how you get this outcome. Straight up. It's that straightforward. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson being left on this island that I keep discussing? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here. I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.